Thank you, Chairman Mass. Thank you for calling this important hearing. And I appreciate the opportunity to look holistically at the department's responsiveness to congressional oversight over the course of this Congress. As the ranking member of the Oversight Subcommittee, I have tracked these investigations closely, and I am thankful to Secretary Blinken and to the department for their cooperation and for their respect for Congress's constitutional oversight role. I believe the department's track record demonstrates their compliance and shows that they have made good faith effort to meet the majority's many requests. But there are differences between a good faith oversight effort, of which we have an obligation to pursue, in which you start with a question, right? The way investigations are supposed to happen is you start with a question, and then you collect evidence, you hold hearings and briefings, you collect evidence and you look at documents, and then you come to a conclusion based on that investigation. Versus in these instances where the majority starts with an answer, something that they want to show, and then they work backwards from there to try to jam the facts in to meet their narrative. But the good news is we have facts, and I love facts because they show really interesting things. There are 19 investigations that this committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, under the majority control, has initiated this Congress. 12 of those are deemed active. There have been 72 productions of documents and information in response to those investigations. And when we printed this board, there were 22,000 pages, but because you continue to comply and do things on a rolling basis, as of today, there are over 24,000 pages of documents now provided to this committee. 18 witnesses for transcribed interviews, and over 100 hours of testimony. That is a lot. And I can also say, that's been told to me by the State Department, there have been over 50,000 staff hours spent by staff of the State Department responding to the inquiries of this committee. But the chairman is also right that quality is important too, right? It's not just the quantity, but also what is being provided. And he used an example. He said, we asked for information about the withdrawal of Afghanistan, and what we got was policies pertaining to embassies and withdrawals. Well, folks, we have policies in the United States government and procedures that apply to our government. You know, we're military folks by background, and there are standard operating procedures that we're familiar with in our military background that apply in every given instance. So to say that producing those policies as non-compliance is absurd to be generous. The administration has accommodated every request for transcribed interviews in the investigation into the Afghanistan withdrawal and provided more than 16,000 pages of documents just for that one investigation. The administration has also gone to great lengths to meet unprecedented requests that implicate really serious concerns of whistleblower protections, chilling effect, including coming up with a new process to share with this committee the dissent cable channel and interview notes related to the after-action review of the Afghanistan withdrawal, recognizing the importance of this investigation and going to great lengths to accommodate the requests of this committee. In those instances, the department clearly communicated their concerns, and Secretary Blinken made extraordinary accommodations. But rather than a transparent and serious investigation, this committee itself actually has not been transparent on many occasions and has not released the transcripts of the many transcribed interviews that we have conducted, which we have repeatedly asked for. We have nothing to hide. The administration has nothing to hide. So let's produce the transcripts, because the American people deserve to have these answers too. But here's fundamentally what's happening here. The majority disagrees with the policies of this administration. That's the way it works. There are elections in America. People win those elections, and they implement their policies. So, a policy disagreement does not equal obstruction. A policy disagreement does not equal noncompliance. You can disagree, and we're supposed to have debates about these policies and these programs. Let's have those debates, but do not say that there's obstruction, that they're not working with us in good faith, because they have over and over again proven their willingness to do this. And you know, with all due respect for the chairman, who's my brother in arms and a fellow combat veteran, in his parade of horribles, one of which he spent a lot of time on was this atheism, the supposed atheism grant that the State Department administered. Well, here's the fact, folks. This grant promotes fundamental rights of freedom of religion. And guess where this grant comes from? It is a grant program that's in direct response to a statutory amendment by, wait for it, a Republican member of this committee that created this program. Facts matter. I look forward to having a fact-based discussion in this hearing, and I appreciate the witnesses for coming forward to answer yet another series of questions by the majority. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Crow. And we will now go to the individuals for your opening statements.